as my top 5 receivers in MUT.
Yeah, we're getting a couple of recommendations in the chat. My dude Michael Hewlett, 25, he's saying go 85 base elite T.Y. Hilton.
Well, we have a question. Yeah, we got a question about that later in the show, actually. So maybe we'll run into that question.
Oh,
this is another good question, and this is from the other chip.
okay.
What drills can I do to not be a one-read passer? So first things first, let's talk about what just comes out in a play and says, I'm going to call this formation. Ooh, I like that. There's a tight end corner on the play. Eagles level sail. That's awesome.
That is the key to what a one-read passer is. When you're scrolling through the playbook, you look at one route and go, oh, I like that, and then you call it because of that.
Now you see 3 routes on the left. None of these particularly awesome. I'd rather have drags or something like that, but you're still just looking at Rodgers. You're like, all right, looks pretty good. I'm pretty much going to throw to Rodgers.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden at the snap, a user gets underneath and you're just like, chuck it. And you're like, oh yeah, caught it. That was a great read. I know there's 3 guys there, but I caught it. That's such a good route. That route's OP, whatever. Like, that's a one-read passer. If you can just become a 2-read passer, and the way you become a 2-read passer is by always kind of having a halfback route that complements your main route. So in this situation, you got to think, well, what does Eddie Lacy give me? Eddie Lacy gives me a quick throw. Well, now I know I want to go to Rodgers, but it doesn't look like Rodgers is going to be there. I'm going to go to Lacy. So it directly works with your first route. Now, ideally, you become a 5-tool player.
5 tool, maybe a 6-tool, scramble with the quarterback.
Become a 5-6-tool player. And a good way to do that is to use spread offenses, or also to go back a couple weeks ago into the Brain Trust and look at the Miami offense from Gibbs. I just think that will teach you a play that's a 5-read play. But we'll find one in this Eagles playbook. We'll look at the play Eagles verticals. I believe this could be a 5.
I got a play for you. I got a play for you. Go hit B. Hit B here and go over. I keep going left. Go left. Left. We're going to the bunch. Looking for the bunch. Yeah, bunch open. So go to the play Eagle Flood. Right? Yeah. So that's kind of the idea here is what we're kind of looking for. So I'll go to a standard. And a good quick tip from Wennet Gaming. He's saying to play on a smaller screen. I play on a small monitor because it's much easier to move your eyes and your whole head to look and make 5 reads on a play. So that's like a small pro tip. But to go from 1-read player to a 2-read player, it makes you much better. But if you become a 5-read player, you have to know the offensive play. It's got to be a play you've practiced and a play you've used against different defenses. So here, option halfback.
We're going to option the halfback, which is Y, RB, and then left trigger.
Drag B.
We can drag B. And so what we're going to be looking for is the corner first, I would say. Mm-hmm. Then probably the drag, then probably the option, then the deep ball, and then we might check down to the flat.
Yep.
So at the snap, waiting for the corner. Okay, say the corner's not there. B, okay, B's in. Okay, now, then we probably would have checked down to the left route. So
well, let's show all the instances here. Watch, check this, right? So if I come out in this standard defense here, this what I'm in right now, right? Okay, I'm gonna say that the route that gets open is gonna be the corner. Okay, so run the corner. Okay. All right, gets open, corner's open, throw the corner. Okay, completed. That's your first read. Well, now what happens when your opponent goes ahead and I'm going to play man-to-man, okay? Now we're getting the same hot routes in, right? I'm going to play man-to-man.
Definitely I'm thinking what? B here.
Yeah.
More so than A.
Right, so this is how you become a non-one-guy read, right? Okay, boom. Now that's your second read, okay? That's how you're going to progress your offense. Now if I go back to man-to-man again...
And now you take away maybe the drag. Well, now I know to look for Eddie Lacy. And he cuts against man on the option route. He sits against zone. I won a game with a 4th and 2 read to LaShawn McCoy on this option route. And this is a route we don't use quite enough.
Here it is now. Okay, I'm in the box. I'm going to take away the drag and I'm going to take the option. Now where? Where do you go?
Now we can maybe look to Jones for a streak. You know, I might
just chuck it to him deep. Yeah. Right, that's all it is. Okay, one-on-one deep. Oh, okay. So this is where you become a more than 1-read player. You need to you need to understand the concepts that are going to beat certain defenses. So we can't stress enough, the number one concept that you need to start with is a corner, a flat, and a vertical. If you take a look at this play, we have that built in. Now, the secondary options off that, we have to hot route them because not every play has that.
Right.
So we need to think of the most basic routes that win, right? The number one hot route you should always have on every play is a drag.
Right.
Drag's always going to win. If you don't like your halfback route, your best option is a halfback option route.
Right.
That's your best next best bet.
Yeah, I think that this is really the only good halfback option route. Not the option route, but just option out of the backfield. There's little routes like this.
Don't love them.
Swing. The table route is just
route's great.
It's just 10,000 times better.
Next
so
level.
if it's not built into the play, you can't get it. So that's kind of frustrating. But you can also maybe slant across the middle, try and get some separation. Good jump by the defender right there. But you want to work a drag in potentially. A flat route is never going to get open against man-to-man. So Y is basically very bad against man-to-man.
Very bad. It's like non-existent.
But, I mean, it could be zoned. So you might want to leave it sometimes, but other times, if they're taking away the left, you might want to put it on the right. But depending on how A gets pressed or doesn't get pressed, that's going to throw off the time. Sterling Sharp is very important because he's going to get more separation there. So those are very important details to becoming a player that can make more and more reads.
So I think what's the one action item that you can do right now? You take this tip, you might be a little overwhelmed by all those hot routes. I can't make 5 reads. We don't expect you to make 5 reads. But what we might expect you to do, and what we want you to do to become a better Madden player, is you need to look and use the concepts that we're talking about here. And the most important thing you can take away is the corner route, the flat, and the vertical. If Farles can show that route combination on this play, what we want you to do is start looking through your playbook, and it's in every playbook, so you don't have to use the playbook we're using. But Farles, please show the route combination. It's on the left side of the screen here.
Yeah.
You see the corner, a flat, and a vertical. That route concept, you're going to almost always have.
It almost makes you a 3-read player.
Great, it does.
This flat route, the dude.
Here's why.
The flat route on this play is a decoy because they're lined up so far out wide on the bunch.
If I'm setting up the world's best blitz, right?
Yeah.
Usually it leaves the flat open, right?
True. I just think on this one, it's
correct.
It's a tough position because you're too close to the sideline.
It is, but the idea is still very sound.
In a bunch, it's very important.
Yeah.
In this one, at least,
tight.
Still draws the defender, but he's not as good of a passing option.
So there's 2 action items you take here. I want you to do and go look for the route concept with a corner, flat, and a vertical. And the next thing I would like you to do is you find that route concept in your playbook, you fall in love with it, you start running it and using it. The next thing you can do to make yourself a secondary option, a secondary read, always put a backside drag.
Right.
Always put a backside drag. This is one of the safest routes you can throw. I could be in really any defense and this drag is going to get open. Like it's going to get open. Like throw it now. At least you got 2 yards. It's something. It's going to get you to the next step where you're starting to read the defense.
You can always hot route it, which
you can always hot route.
I mean, excuse me. You can always play. You did a good job using there, but
still caught it.
You take your chances with it. So those are some things you can do to become a better Madden player, guys.
Yep.
Right now, I'm going to give away a code for EA Access in the chat. So if you're on your Xbox, be ready to write this down and be ready all night because I've got a lot of these codes and a lot of them are coming out. You can also win by tweeting at Madden Bible with the hashtag Madden Master. Ask a question that I'll answer on Madden NFL Live, and I'll give away some on Twitter for you guys using that hashtag and asking questions. I'd really appreciate it, and we will continue to give these away as many as we can all night long.
Falls, one other tip I want to add about route progressions, and this is something that I think it personally helps me, so I hope this might be able to help you guys, is think about it this way, right? When you are reading a book, you're reading anything, how do you read? Like, what are the position of the words on the page? It's left to right. So I take that and I say, okay, I'm used to looking and reading things from left to right. My eyes progress left to right. So if you set your offense, this is why I almost always flip my plays, is because plays are usually designed for the righty quarterback from right to left. As you can see here, this play is designed right to left.
Right.
If you flip the play, most plays, and you set your play up so that your reads are left to right, that's going to help you, I think, make it a little easier for you. Because like if you start here on the left, right, the drag is going to get open first.
Right.
And then you have the option. So if you say, I'm going to start with the drag, if the drag's open, I'm going to throw it to him. Okay, so to snap the ball, okay, he's open, throw it to him because now you're left to right. But then you can come back to the right side because your eyes are flowing that way.
And you want to follow the drag, like you want it. And then okay, it's either open or it's not open, but you're continuing to go, and then and then the corner. It's not like this drag, corner. You got to snap your head back.
Right.
It sounds subtle, but yes, it's definitely.
It's a small tip, and you can't always execute and deliver on it. But I think that if you start thinking that way, like. You usually also want to like target the short breaking routes because of the drags, but try that out and see if it works. Does it make sense for you? Is it helping you? And see if it works. It could help.
Quick question for the chat: do we have any one-read players in the chat? I'd love to know if you're a one-read player. When I use a new offensive playbook, I'll be honest, I'm a two-read player. I'm a two-read player when I use a new offensive playbook.
I'm sorry, no, I said something on my nose.
Yeah. What about you? You're a 5-read player.
I'm a 13-read player. I'm next. I'm the next.
Maybe I'm a 3-read player because I'll have like the dominant route at the time that I like, whether it's corner or 4 verts. I'll always have the halfback. I'm always pretty good with the halfback because that's in every playbook.
Amazing with it.
And then I can run with the quarterback. Generally, when I play with a playbook I don't know, love to have a mobile QB because they get me out of trouble.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking when it comes to this game, Madden 16, right? You almost always want to have a vertical on the outside.
Right.
You need to have a drag. You need to probably have a halfback option or a table route.
Right.
So those 3 immediate reads, and then you can have any type of combination of the other 2.
Right.
So like when you really boil it down, like it's not that hard to, maybe it is hard for people, but you can get to that point where okay, if a vertical is just chuck it and then you're gonna aggressive catch, try to win a one-on-one battle. So that's not really a read. That's like a last resort, right? The drag is a quick breaking route. You can read if it's open or is it shut down right away, and then you have your other routes to go there for. So
true that. And what will make you not a one-read player is Zan. Zan will be adding some new content for Brain Trust guys that are subs to the. Zan's one of the top players. He streams over at Forward Progress Madden along with the EA Stream team. We did pick up some new subs, so those are 10 of our newest subs. Shout out to those guys. Titletown, Spud.